Hello, my friends, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. So, today we're going to just kind of jump right into things. Of course, you realize this is on Twitter. I'm sure you've seen the tweet, and I'm going to try to put my thoughts into words as best I can. I'm not sure how well this is going to go, but I have some words specifically for the women in the gaming community. The women who, like myself, enjoy gaming and don't believe all this bullshit about games not being inclusive and over-sexualization and all this other shit. But I want to go through a few other things first. I'm pretty sure you've seen this tweet already. I don't care to find the original. It's out there. I know it's real. I've seen the actual one myself. So, this lady posts, if men's mental health mattered to men, they'd be creating safe spaces for themselves and each other, pursuing therapy and creating community. Instead, they perpetuate the very behavior systems that have handicapped them in the first place, refuse to support or create community amongst each other, severely damage the women in their lives who try to care for them, and attack women online for not doing the work for them in replies to tweets like the one below. And the tweet below is literally just men's mental health matters. I haven't seen that tweet, but men's mental health does matter. A lot of the problems we're having today is part of an worldwide at this stage mental health crisis, for a variety of reasons that we won't go into just because this is a gaming channel and I am not qualified to talk about games, but I do that anyway. I'm certainly not qualified to talk about worldwide mental health. I can have a number of opinions, but that's not what anybody's here for. This really great name, I love this guy's name. Dr. Strange Tweet, or How I Learned to Love the Retweet, is a good name. Dr. Strangelove is actually one of my favorite movies. He says, men had Star Wars, women invaded. Men had sci-fi, women invaded. Men had video games, women invaded. Men had D&D, women invaded. Men had comics, women invaded. Men had men's only clubs, women invaded. The only thing men have anymore is either solitary or you fuss at us for. And he does, importantly, go on to say, yes, there were some women on these things from the jump, but they understood men and let men be themselves. They were cool. Then uncool women decided they wanted to take those things from men who built the fandom, then kicked them out for complaining about the low quality. Men can't have a safe space because you will demand to be let in. And if somehow you are deflected, you will use your male minions to take over and open the door for you, and once again, kick men out. But your concern isn't really men's mental health, it's control. It's shaming men for having issues. You want men to apply the remedies that women use. You want to feminize men. Men should take accountability for themselves. Well, if you'd stop making us be accountable for you, we might have time to do that. Hunting, smoking meat, and woodwork. That's all men really have left to themselves, mostly. Leave us alone and stop hating men. And so to the second point on his tweet, I responded, this is what some women don't understand. You can't come into these spaces and expect them to change for you, and then be upset when everyone leaves them. Or be upset because men suddenly have nowhere to go because you keep coming into the space and expect it to cater to you. There's a section of women that has a hard time understanding the world doesn't revolve around them. Now, the internet would lead you to believe it's a larger section than it really is. Because let's face it, they're honestly quite loud, extremely manipulative, and have a tendency to draw in the most attention. Personally, I try to believe that most women aren't like that, but there's a good reason why I am very suspicious of other women. And it's not the first time I've said that. My women friends, the few that I have, will understand why I say that, because for the most part, they feel the same way. They understand that women are evil. That's the easiest way to put it, but not all of us are evil. So here's where you get into the problem that I really want to talk about. Sheepsidian retweeted the first woman with the If Men's Mental Health Mattered post and said, men create video games, men create comics, men create Star Wars, men go to gyms. Our safe spaces, therapy, and community tends to have a repeating factor. And of course, he included Anita Sarkeesian. I don't remember that one's name. Kathleen Kennedy and friends. And of course, that one girl from that gym calling that poor guy feral when he ain't doing shit. These are all examples of women who infiltrate a space and then manipulate it to better suit them, and cry when men have the audacity of all things to say, this isn't for me anymore, and try to walk away. Granted, men have a tendency to not do that. They try to stand and fight first. And unfortunately, they've been left at a disadvantage from the very beginning because, as I mentioned, women are manipulative and will pull every trick in the book to attempt to get their way. And then when they get their way, they're not happy because the people left. Someone responds, and this is where I draw the line. Men did create these things. Women were always in them as characters, creators, fans, etc. Male dominant, yes, but not exclusive to men. Don't associate female jackasses who are bad actors with all females in a male-dominated space. And this is where I have strong words for my fellow female gamers. When a man calls these women out, he's aware he's not talking about you. You need to have the wherewithal to understand he is not talking about you. I understand it is very easy to take it personal because they're saying women, it's a generalization. I'm really bad with generalizations. I honestly am. It takes me quite a bit to get over it myself, and that's part of why I'm addressing this. When these men say that those women are ruining our hobbies, they don't just mean for men. They mean for us as well, because we are not those women. We are part of the hobby, and they don't think of us as separately. They think of us as part of the hobby. And for the women who are ingrained in the hobby, we should understand that. We have a tendency not to. We have a tendency to forget that while we are women, we are not those women. We never will be. We never have been. And it's time for us to figure it out, to take that moment where for a split second, and it's always going to happen, it still happens to me, where you realize not all women, not me. And instead of saying that, saying, yeah, those women suck. Because those women suck. And as long as we're more eager to turn around and say to the men behind us who are trying to protect their hobby, protect our hobby, but not all women, those women are going to continue to win. They are playing on that little thing inside of us, that little mental thing that has to be just part of female, maybe it's part of human nature, I'm not 100% sure, that says when someone says a woman is doing a thing, I have to say that doesn't include me. Realistically, it's probably just a human thing. Same thing happens to men. They go through the same thing. Entirely separate issue. But we have to step up and start saying, we don't like these women either. We are not like these women. Because the men in this corner don't want to fight us. They need our help. They need our help making this go away so that we can all have fun again. Because if you are anything like me, you understand that they are ruining our fun. They're not just ruining men's fun. They're not making it more inclusive for us. And because of their behavior, they're literally making things harder for us. Because it is very difficult to see two women standing side by side and determine which one isn't the crazy one. All right, to be fair, all women are crazy to some degree, but not all of us are crazy in the same way. Not all of us want to get into a space and change it to where we are the center of attention. Not all of us come into a space looking to drive male attention to us. Yes, we get male attention, but that is just the nature of the fact that we are hanging out with men. Thus, men are going to hang out, are going to pay attention to us. We are not looking for a sexual conquest. We are not looking to manipulate through sex. We are not looking to hypergamy. We're not looking to crawl our way up some kind of imaginary ladder. We just want to beat the guys at their games. Literally. We want to go into Fortnite, shoot people, and have fun, and come out on top. We want to do what I did tonight, which was spend my evening playing party animals with my guy friends and beat the shit out of them when I have the chance. It feels good. It feels good to have that camaraderie. And women like this have ruined that, not just for men, for us. And we're helping them do it every time someone tries to call them out. And we say, well, not us. Well, duh, not us. We should know that. It is past time that we grow up and use our God-given abilities to protect our hobbies. That we use our voices to fight these other voices and not fight the people who are honestly on the same side as us. I really feel like I laid it out very well in my tweet. Maybe we as women should do more to address these bitches as opposed to attack the men who call them out. I don't want to be associated with them any more than anyone else does, but I'm also not going to deny they exist, and they are wrecking the hobbies for both men and myself. They are ruining my hobbies. They are trying to use my identity to do it, and I am not interested in quibbling with the men who are calling them out. I am interested in removing them entirely from my hobbies so we can get back to having fun instead of playing these womanly bullshit games. Every time in my entire life of gaming, which has literally been my entire life. I've been gaming since I was able to hold a controller. If I had a problem in a game, in a multiplayer game, in a game where there's some kind of back end and people talk, it has been with a woman. It has been a woman either lying about me or manipulating people in the back to hate me for whatever reason. Maybe I did something to them, maybe I didn't. Realistically, most of the time, I don't feel like I did anything but hang out with the guys and have fun. But because I am capable of doing that and some other women aren't, that makes a certain type of woman mad. It does. And then there's a certain type of man who's willing to do just about anything for just about any woman. Every time it has been a woman. I don't think sitting here right now, I'm trying really hard to remember a time I had a problem in a game with a man that wasn't in some way attached to a woman. And I can't come up with a single one. In all my times playing MUDs, playing MMOs, it's never been a man attacking me for being a woman. It's always been a man attacking me because a woman said something to him to make him attack me. And these women like Anita, these women like Kathleen, all of them, they are those women. They are the women who don't actually belong, but showed up because they knew that there was a market to be had. They are the same women who sit on Twitch and play with their tits out half-assedly to rake in the money. We are not those women. And we don't have to, when they are called out, say we are not these women. They know we are not these women. And we need to wear that with confidence. Because we're not in a world anymore where we have to be ashamed of the fact that we are gamers, not as women or men. And we shouldn't any longer be ashamed of it. We should wear it proudly. And if someone doesn't like it, fuck them. Not literally. We don't have to pretend anymore. And we don't have to accept the fakes anymore. And we don't have to worry that the men in our spaces are thinking that we're just like them, because the way to prove that you're not just like them is to just not be them. Men are pretty simple. They have a tendency to believe the way you act. It might be hard sometimes to integrate into a group of men, but for the most part, as long as you're not a crazy bitch, they're fine. There are so many of these posts just like this one. It says you're still allowed to watch sci-fi, play games, and read comics with your exclusively male friend group. Male spaces haven't been invaded because somewhere some woman is reading Dune. Again, completely missing the point and redirecting in a very womanly manner. Gloss over the actual facts. Make it seem simple, belittle the man, make him feel like less of a man because of what you're saying. Woman tactic right there, 101. Which is why my response is great job missing the point and redirecting, because that's what she did. She skipped the point and redirected to something entirely different. She tried to make a point that wasn't being made. Because gaming, sci-fi, fantasy, all of it has been changed by women who came in without an actual love for any of these things, who didn't want to actually participate in any of these things, but wanted to become the center of it because they wanted to see their representation, and they brought in womanly men with them to do it. It has been changed because some women decided they wanted to play, but the play environment had to revolve around them. The fact that these women come in here and say these things and then say, oh, but you can still play. It doesn't look anything like it was to begin with. It doesn't look like gaming anymore. It's dumbed down. I mean, it's one of the symptoms, of course, of going mainstream, is things get dumber. It's very irritating. The people saying these things lack empathy. They lack the ability to understand why anybody wouldn't want things to be exactly the way they want them. They think they're making everything better because it's the way they want it. And obviously everybody wants the same things they do. They lack the ability to step outside of that. It is irritating, frustrating, and dumb. And personally, I'm tired of it, to say the least. I would like if the women who hear this, I know probably not a lot will, but if you are a woman gamer and you feel like the games, you know what? If you are a woman nerd, if you are a woman geek, whatever you want to call yourself, and you feel like your gamings, your books, your TV shows and everything are being changed for the worse, help me help the hobbies. And when these things come up, turn towards the people who are actual enemies and let them have it. We do not need to be fighting the men in these hobbies because they understand that we're here to have fun and to game and to not interfere with them because we're just part of the hobby. And we need to understand that better to make sure that we are supporting and helping this move the right direction. Now, I know I'm not alone. I know there are a number of other women who feel the same way. Vex Electronica is one. Kat at the Hijabi Gamer is another. Madam Savvy. Charisma of Melee Games, Steph from My Nerdy Home, That Tug Life, Vera Dark, Kersha, and the green-haired anti-liberal. There are honestly so many women that I could name that I know I'm forgetting some, and I hope you ladies do not find it offensive if I've forgotten you. I apologize. I couldn't go on forever like this, but I do want to make sure to give people at least some form of resource that they can go to for other voices. I am hardly the only or even the best, but I appreciate everyone who does listen to me. Gaming is a hobby I love with everything. It's something that I love to the point that I, as a quiet-voiced older woman who generally hates conflict, has decided to sit down and make these videos. I have made more videos than I ever thought I'd make. And while I appreciate every single one of you who listen to my videos, I hope that you're taking something from them to help further the cause of the hobby, to help make our hobby better. Not to make it more inclusive, to make it better, to make it so that the people who want to enjoy the hobby have the opportunity to enjoy it in the way that they prefer to enjoy it, not with somebody else's idea of how it should be enjoyed shoved down their throat. All that said, guys, I really appreciate you. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. I'm sure this will be interesting. And thank you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. If you really liked it, you can feel free to share it around, and I will catch you later.